Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Karak with Mehreen show. I'm so excited about today's guest. You may know her as Dubai's incredible dance influencer, but she is so much more than that. She is an astrologist, a numerologist, an architect, and now she was declared as Instagram's most loved entertainer blogger. She is literally a Wonder Woman who does it all.
Oh, wow.
Let me please welcome Umang Shandilia.
Thank you. That is pretty beautifully written, my script. That's a very nice introduction, though. And
Yes,
I feel
happy.
like now it sounds like I'm so confused. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. But I'm happy that I'm trying everything.
Yes, yeah. I actually didn't know about all the other things that you do, and then as I
Yeah.
started digging in a little, I was
Yeah.
like, "Whoa! Like you do everything! Like, wow!"
Yeah,
So-
it's that bug in you that you wants
Yeah.
that wants to be like, okay, let's just try this topic, let's just study this, and now okay, it's boring now. Next what?
Next one,
what?
yeah.
What's next? So that is exactly what happened with me.
But is your priority dance?
So actually, it's my when you call somebody your first love, that's my dancing is
Okay.
my first love. I actually found myself through dancing. Everything else is a study that I can study, but dancing I thought was in my genes. My parents are really good dancers. My brother is a really good dancer, but I was very shy initially. I never thought of pursuing dancing. It's just that when I started learning, I realized that maybe this is something that I can deep dive in and know how I feel doing it. So when I started learning, and that's when I realized that okay, this is something that is very, very close to my heart, and I feel happy and I feel myself while dancing. So I think dance is my first love. Rest everything else is profession, passion.
That's
But
beautiful.
yeah, I'm again, and second passion is as I told you, I'm a passionate tea drinker. So
Oh
Karak lover. So
yeah. So this is the perfect podcast.
yeah,
For you.
this is perfect.
Yeah, but that's really cool. I think dance is such a beautiful expression.
Yeah.
It is an art, but it's also a medium for you to just like let out your
Exactly,
emotions. So
exactly.
it's really cool how you found yourself through
Yeah.
that. What is your favorite part of dancing? I know it's probably a lot.
Yeah.
But like if you had to name
That's
something
a
that you
difficult
love.
one. I think I feel like dancing is I call it music made visible. Like you can see music on someone's body. I think that is the most beautiful part of it, because sometimes you listen to the music and you're like, nice. That's lyrics are different. Like lyrics are going in one way, beats is something else. There's a hidden note to it, and there are pitches to it. But when you see somebody performing on sometimes lyrics, sometimes beats, sometimes let's say the bass, and then you feel like, wait a minute, was this song had so many layers. But when somebody dances on it, you realize, okay,
It all
there's
comes
so
together.
much layers, and suddenly it start making sense.
Yeah.
So I feel like the music made visible is the most beautiful part of dancing.
Oh, that's beautiful, and that's true actually, because when you see dance videos, they usually dance on like some beats that you
Yeah.
didn't even recognize that it was
Exactly.
there
When you're
until
listening.
you see
Yeah.
the dance. So
And
definitely.
it's not just sometimes when I'm trying to choreograph something, I put headphones in my ears and then I start thinking, okay, this is the beat that I need to catch. This is the beat. But when I see somebody else also doing it, I'm like, where was this beat? Where was this hidden? But somebody just pulled it
Caught
out
it.
and just presented in front of you. So I think that is so beautiful. It's
That's
just
so
beautiful.
cool. So you probably listen to the songs multiple times
Yeah.
to kind of
Yeah.
catch the little elements of it.
Also, I feel it's the music that makes you dance. Like I always tell people that nothing is above the song. So if we can justify the song or do justice to the song, it is done. The choreography is done. The work that you are putting, the art is done.
Yeah, so
But-
it depends a lot on like the song itself.
the song.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like song makes you feel in a certain way.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
Like,
sometimes the song is just flowing and you just want to be easy, relaxed. And sometimes the song is so, the beats are so high that you want to be out partying on it. And you feel like a gangster suddenly. And on the other side, you're just like a mellow person, you love her and you want to love.
it's
So
like all your different personalities
come out. Yeah, exactly. So I think music is something that actually brings so many different personalities out in a person. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, dance is definitely so beautiful, and I also love dancing. And
Yeah.
one thing about that is because it's also part of our culture. I'm
Yes.
Pakistani.
Yeah.
And it's also very much entrenched in our
yeah.
culture, like in weddings and
Exactly.
outside of weddings as well. I
Yeah.
think a little more in India outside of
yeah.
weddings.
Yeah.
So how important do you think dance really is in
I think, I mean, not a lot of people know that dancing, a lot of, let's say, I'm talking about one dance form called Pangra. And Pangra came out of just general day-to-day activities. Let's say Bolliyan. Ladies used to say Bolliyan to each other. And it was like a joke. And they're joking around and they're clapping, and then that become a tali. And then some of the steps are, I'm talking about, one step is called Punjab. One step is called Koda. And they just took steps out of your daily activities. So many dance forms in India are present, which are, let's say, folk dancing, which are regional. South India has so many different styles of dancing. Yeah. One is only of goddess. They're celebrating when a human body gets the energy of God. How do they act? That's a different dance.
What's that called?
I actually don't know. But have you seen those Keralite dancing where they paint their faces?
Oh.
They actually practice. And they've been told not to eat meat, not to do a lot of certain things, because at that time when they're dancing, they represent God. It's that important.
That's interesting. And so they don't eat meat like the whole day, you mean?
The whole, like, I think they have a certain set of rules that they have to follow.
That's interesting. I didn't know that at all.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. And again, Pangra is the celebration. People started dancing in Punjab when they harvested. So, because they celebrated. So that dance came out of there. Then Garba is during Gujarat when when they celebrate Navratri. Mm-hmm. So they dance around. So same thing with Bengalis when it's Navratri time. Because they pray Devi, so they have different dance forms. They hold these little pots they have smoke coming out, and they dance with it. Beautiful. So there's so many different dance forms, and I think coming from a religion or culture where God himself created a dance form called Shiv Tandav, I think if something is given by God as an art, I think there's still so many people who look down to it. I still feel like this is the best answer to give it to somebody, that God himself created this. Yeah. Like when Shivji was at his highest happiness, that's when he created Tandav, and that is a dance form.
Wow. So dance itself is divine.
Yeah, it is divine. And that's why and let's talk about Sufism. So people who connect to God, they connect with the God and then give the energy to the earth, they dance like this. They are also connected at that time. And what are they doing when they're connected? They're whirling. It's their style of dancing. So I think it's such a divine energy what you feel when you're dancing. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it is cultural in our country, but I feel it is coming out of a very strong, a very positive energy, and people that just need to understand. And I feel, of course, when you're dancing, you can never be angry and dance. Like, you cannot dance like... The moment you dance, you're grooving. Even if you're in a party, it just changes your mood.
For sure.
So it definitely has something so positive about it.
There's so much energy, like positive energy when it comes to dancing. Like, it completely changes your... As you were saying, like your outlook,
exactly.
How you're feeling in that moment. Like when we go to even like my family, we all love dancing. So when we have dawats, and almost like 99% of the times at the end of the dawat, we'll start playing music, and then everyone will start dancing. And if that doesn't happen,
it's a boring wedding.
It's a boring dawat. Literally, like
it is true. Like when you go to someone's wedding, like there's no vibe. There's no vibe.
Exactly.
That is the vibe. The vibe is music and dancing.
Yeah. It's
forget music systems and everything just came now. People had dole before. And you just hit the dole and everybody is going crazy and they're just dancing, and if that one instrument can make some sound that can make you crazy, there's so much more to it. I don't know how to explain that.
But so when you were talking about this, you were talking about religion. So do you think religion is what greatly influenced the dance culture today?
I think of course it came from I will not give it a name as religion. I think it's cultural and regional.
Okay.
Like it is a different way of celebration.
Yeah.
It is different in North, it's different in South, it's different in East, it's different in West. But everybody, the one thing that is common is a celebration.
Yeah.
The end purpose is same. Everybody is just celebrating. It's just somebody has a different dance move, somebody has this different dance move. Probably one person has a dandiya, the other person has I don't know, a random thing. I just can't think of a word right now. But yeah, the celebration is completely the same. Base is same, and then reasons are different.
Yeah.
Somebody celebrate for harvesting, somebody celebrate for the new year, like, or somebody is celebrating for praying to the god and they're celebrating. Somebody celebrating for rain, like, okay, it's raining now finally.
Yeah.
So there's so many different reasons. So I think it's more cultural, regional, and I think yes, there's a definite celebration reason behind it.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty cool to see that people have so many different purposes when they
Yeah.
dance. I was studying a little bit about primal religions, so
Yeah.
of indigenous people,
Yeah.
and dance is very beautiful in their culture as
Yeah.
well, and it's for different purposes. You were mentioning rain. And
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You see when it rains, they all come together
They
and
got-
they have like their own
Yeah.
objects. I don't know what it's called,
Yeah.
but it's so cool to see that dance unites people
Everyone.
together,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever the occasion may be.
Yeah.
But one thing you were mentioning was that one of the dance you were mentioning, some people don't, they look down upon
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. A
So
lot of
why do you
people.
think that? Why do you think that happens?
I think it's people's perception about what they think is the way of enjoyment or what they think is right as per this society. You know, we changed. A human being evolved, and some people did not.
Yeah.
They're still stuck.
True.
And I feel those are the people who feel like, okay, if somebody is just enjoying themselves, they'll be like,
That's
yeah, fine, whatever. and I feel like, okay, I don't feel bad for the person who's dancing. I feel bad for the person who's looking down to people
Who-
because they are missing out.
Exactly.
You're not living
enjoying.
life.
Yeah.
Like if you tell me one thing, when you dance in a random party or let's say random wedding, let's say you're from a ladki wala and you're dancing with the ladki wala. Do you even ask what's your religion or what's your caste or what's your age, what's your height, how much do you earn? Nobody asks anything. They just dance. It's just one smile over somebody and you just become friends.
Yeah.
But in daily life, when you're in senses, I will say, you would be like, okay, maybe I should not make friends with this person, that person, because there is a lot that then the filter starts.
Coming.
But when you are in that moment, when you're enjoying, there's no filter.
Yeah.
There's nothing actually.
Yeah.
You're not sitting in or analyzing, okay, should I be doing this or that? So I think people who are not who look down to dancing, they're big analyzers. They're not letting themselves go.
Mm-hmm.
So they're analyzing every situation, which shouldn't be, because they are missing out. Nothing's changing.
Yeah.
Nothing's changing in the world.
For
It's
sure,
just-
yeah. It's like when we have like these weddings and stuff.
Yeah.
And always there'll be some people who are going, and for the people who are sitting, they're trying to
pull
get them
yeah.
in, pulling them
Yeah.
in, which is so.
like, why are you holding back? Come on, just show me 2 moves, just go back.
Yeah, it's just a way of enjoyment.
Yeah.
And so there's still a lot of negativity though
Yeah.
when it comes to the dance culture in
Yeah.
Pakistan. It's the same, where a
Yeah.
lot of people look down upon it and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, this is not supposed to be in our culture.
Yeah.
And so one of the reasons is definitely because they're kind of set in their ways.
Exactly.
That's just, it wasn't there before, so why is it now? Things
Exactly.
along those lines. I think, I don't know if it's ego, but maybe it's like being stubborn.
I think that's the same thing, that being
Yeah.
being so stubborn or analyzing a situation that what will the other person think of me has probably taken away the fun that people have in them.
Yeah.
Or I feel sad for these people who are not letting themselves go.
No, but I agree. Like, I just love dancing. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I love it with so much passion, and I love watching your videos.
Thank you so much.
I truly do. Like, me and my siblings, we love
Yeah.
dancing, so we're always sharing your
Yeah.
clips.
I
to
think
each
you
other.
guys need to just come one day to the studio then.
I'm trying.
I'll
I was
see how
trying
much
to
you love
schedule a
dancing.
days.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I think after
soon.
this podcast, I'm going to take you and like, okay, this is my address. You're supposed to come here over all your siblings.
Yes, I will. They love dancing as well. But
That's lovely. Very
So,
sweet.
when talking about dancing, we were talking about how sometimes there's a negativity
Yeah.
to it. There's a negative outlook. Have you faced any kind of discrimination, any kind of negativity, hate for being a dancer, but also a female dancer? Do you think there's more hate for being a
Yeah.
female dancer?
I feel like, first thing, I feel I'm so blessed that I've got a lot of love, which I never thought that, okay, it even existed. Or am I worthy of having that much love or getting that much love from random people that I don't even know? But out of, let's say, 100%, no, let's say 98%, I get a lot of love, and 2% are still people who come to the page just to comment, okay, what is that? that's not even, first thing, that's not even good. Don't even post it and see what you're wearing and that. And then I feel like they are so unloved in their life that they want to come on social media, and the hate that they have in themselves, they want to just vent.
Yeah.
And just because they don't have anybody to vent,
other place to do it.
they come on social media, check everyone's page, and just randomly start commenting. This person will not probably know how to pronounce your name, or will not even know you, just because that they saw a video, and they're feeling they want to vent somewhere, so they just went in your comment section. I feel like whenever somebody leaves the comment, I feel like telling them, listen, God bless you.
Aww.
I really hope that you get some love in life, some love, because unfortunately, you're so unloved that you're coming here and commenting on my video and you don't even know me.
Yeah.
I always, that I don't think anybody knows about it, but whosoever leaves me a hate comment, I go to their profile and just see.
And you look at their...
And I see just, okay, 1 picture, 2 picture, I'm like, oh, you're so unloved. It's okay. And I'm like, okay, I actually do that.
Wow.
I see everyone's name.
I love that.
I see everyone's username with _2310 something. And then I'm okay, Bichara, it's okay. Your day will come.
You're like, you can't even find a good username for
exactly.
yourself. Like, literally.
Sometimes, and then some people are actually good critic. And when I read their comments, I'm like, oh, actually, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I could have done this in a different way. Then I'm like, okay, I'll try it next time.
Oh, so you actually acknowledge some...
Oh, I read every comment, acknowledge everything. Okay. Some hate comments are so funny. I literally screenshot it and send it to my friends group.
Yeah.
Like, guys, if you're having a bad day, just read this comment. It's going to make your day.
Some people are very creative with their hate.
So creative. And so are the same thing with their username.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
People with the worst comment have the worst usernames.
True.
And I find it so funny, but it is fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? It is important to get these 2% people as well to keep growing, because I take things personally. Like, oh wow, he said that to me, or she said that to me. Let me show you. Let me post my next video. You wait.
You wait and watch. Yeah.
But then that also
motivates you. Yeah.
Yeah. If you keep getting constant love, which everybody wants, even I want, like just love, pure love. But if you don't get these hate comments, you'll be like, yeah, boring. Yeah, everybody loves you. And then you look at your mirror like, why does everybody love you? Like, do you have anything wrong in you?
Yeah, nobody, like literally nobody's perfect. So
yeah. So this is what I feel like. Why suddenly, it's so weird that I judge myself to another level. Like, if anything is going on my page, I have probably judged myself on so many different levels before posting that thing on my page.
How you look in this angle?
It's not just about looks, but I just see about the art that I'm posting.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So I feel like, is it in this world where there's so many talented people, am I doing justice? Like, is it fair to just post this?
But I think like everyone who's extremely talented, they're also their best critiques. So questioning yourself, overthinking what you're doing, I think that's just a part of like...
You put it in a very nice way.
No, but it is true, right? But it's definitely true, because like, especially because you're posting on social media where anyone can see.
Yeah, exactly. And once it's on social media, you have no control over it. It's just gone.
It's just there.
It's for the world now. It's for the universe.
Exactly.
You have no control, no right, nothing.
Yes, and that's the scariest part, which is why it's normal to overthink. Like, it's normal to I will relate it to my podcast. So when I post clips of myself, I mean, of course, when I post clips of everyone else, I watch it multiple times. But when I post of myself, I'm like, am I like sounding really dumb right now? Like, is this like such a dumb opinion? Like, I think so many times before posting. But after I post, like, of course, people think it's dumb, but there are so many people who agree with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Who DM me afterwards.
But there are always going to be people who will always agree with you. And even if not, they will at least understand your point, where it's coming from. Because if your and my opinions are exactly same, we won't be two different people, right?
Yeah.
So if you're saying something and everybody's like, yes, that means everybody agree to a certain point. And if you say something that they don't agree, it doesn't mean you are wrong or they are wrong. It's just that you don't have different opinions. That's it.
Yeah. And I learn a lot from my comments as well, in terms of some things that I didn't consider. And when I see the comments, I'm like, oh, I didn't think about that actually.
Yeah, exactly, right? So this is exactly. So I think that 2% in your life in your life and in your social media is very important.
So this is the social media side, but in terms of like real life, so maybe family, extended family, did you get any kind of negativity for being a dancer online?
Not really negativity. It's just, I think there was a lack of belief.
Oh, interesting.
When people were like, oh, let's see where it goes. She started. Let's see where it goes. But then when you come to a certain point, people are like, मुझे तो पहले से ही पता था. I was the one like biggest supporter.
I was your supporter.
Yeah, I was sending your videos to all my friends. Like this is my relative. So, but again, that was also very less. That's what I'm saying. I'm touch wood. I'm so blessed. I feel like I still get a lot of love from family, from friends. But yeah, there are here and there are people, friends, family who always like, okay, what is she even doing to get so much love? And then you feel like, okay, maybe you're right. Again, the same thing, that's a different opinion. Maybe you're right. Your way of getting love is different. My way of getting love is different. If I am posting my art on social media and somebody likes it's their opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
So if somebody don't like it, then they might have a different interest.
Yeah.
So it's again, it's always something that you cannot even stop.
True.
I don't personally know anybody who's not got like some kind of hatred or some kind of negativity.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's like, that will always be there regardless of what you do, what you
I still
say.
think hate is a very strong and a very big emotional, like very strong emotional word. I don't think people would sit and dedicatedly hate it. Yes, I think they will disagree, but that's why I don't call it hate comments or something. I think it's a disagreement.
Okay.
Hate is something that you dedicatedly do it, like
on a regular basis.
Yeah, regular basis. I'm gonna open my social media, open her profile,
and hate
bad.
on her.
This is horrible.
That would be different from like just casually saying something and be like, oh no.
Yeah, or today I'm just not feeling well. I'm gonna spread this negativity everywhere and every account that I can go on social media. So I think there's a disagreement and negativity, but hate is a very strong word. If somebody hates you, then poor that person. I mean, I feel bad for that person.
That's a very interesting outlook on, because that's the first time I've heard where you kind of made a distinction between hate and disagreement. And that's true, actually. Hate is quite
and it's a very strong part of you. Hate takes, like love takes so much in you. Hate even takes more space in your body.
Hating someone is like...
Exactly. For you to hate someone, you actually have to be a bad person.
True.
You actually have to be a really negative, bad person to hate someone. You could disagree, you would not even like, you could be negative, but then again, hate is a very strong word. So I think hating somebody is bad emotion. Like.
And also that's important for like the one receiving it to consider it not as hate, because when you consider it, oh, I'm receiving hate, that just sounds so like, oh, like I'm receiving hate. That just sounds so demeaning.
I feel, because I myself believe, I don't know what the world and people believe, that I'm a nice person. I don't think I deserve hate. And I'm not saying don't think, but I'm sure I don't deserve hate. So I don't get it from people. Yeah. And this is what I think. Yeah. I feel like if I am not hurting you in any way, be it on my social media or be it in real life, I don't think I deserve hate. So why should I even take it? So if somebody throws hate card toward me, I'm like, take some love back. Just use some of it. Maybe you will feel better. Maybe. This is my perspective of taking a negative comment.
Yeah, that's the best perspective, but it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard to manage that for sure.
Yeah, I have struggled, not personally, but to give this message to my students or people. Like I had female students, little girls, they were like, ma'am, we are starting our social media page. We'll start posting videos now. We're learning from you. But we are scared of hate. We're scared of hate comments. We're scared of people trolling us. And I'm like, imagine, like this is what I learned from my experience. Just think of that person as somebody who's not loved. They're just coming on your page. They're actually not liking you, not liking to see you that you're enjoying. Just take it like that. And what will you feel for that person? You'll feel, okay, you feel petty, like, oh, I have sympathy for you. Just feel like that and just start posting. See, if somebody's opinion, that person doesn't even exist, can bother you so much that you don't enjoy your day today, you're just giving too much importance to the whole world.
Exactly.
If you're not living or enjoying right in this moment, thinking oh, if I post this, I don't know what will people think. If you're thinking about your parents, I agree. If your parents don't like it, probably don't post it. But if you're giving that importance that you're supposed to give to your immediate circle, to a random person, I think it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not that person's
That's
fault, because
how
they
you
are.
manage it.
There's so many people sitting out just waiting for probably anybody to post. Like, they're not targeting you. If people don't like you, they will probably target you. But then you are giving them so much importance. Why? Just live your moment. If you want to post a dance video, post a dance video.
Yeah, and like when you post it, it's obviously because you are appreciating your art
Exactly.
form. So like, there's of course there's someone else's opinion would not align with yours.
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Never. Why do we even expect?
You're never gonna satisfy
Anyone.
every person in the
You're
world.
not Nutella. You just
Nutella. I don't like Nutella.
okay. See, different opinions. I love Nutella.
You just froze. You're like, how is
Like,
that
oh,
possible?
I
You're like,
don't
I should
know.
get out of this room.
Yeah, I thought
now.
the door is quite near, just 10 steps away. No, really. So this is the same thing. You can never ever in your life, even if you aim for, never satisfy everybody. At least do it to yourself. If you satisfy this one single person that you live with every day, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's you. Just forget about
That's the
everybody
best
else.
advice, honestly. Yeah, I love that.
Thank
so, when we were talking about dance, and there was one thing that lots of people were mentioning was that dance became very accessible because of TikTok. Because of TikTok videos, lots of people started dancing.
Exactly. True.
And some people didn't like it. Some people were saying this is removing the essence, the true nature of dance, because it's just like random TikTok dances. It's like nothing. So what do you think of that dynamic?
I want to know, what is the true essence of dance? What is that essence that people are taking away? Like, there's a big fight between professional dancers and TikTok dancers. They feel like they just come on the screen, do 2 moves, and they get famous. But then why are you putting yourself into that category? Why are you even comparing? If you're a professional dancer, your profession is dancing. Forget what other people are doing. You focus on your profession. It's just like if tomorrow a TV actor and a movie star start comparing each other, they keep themselves different, don't they?
Yeah.
They maintain it. And I feel like there is no harm if you are a TikTok dancer. There's nothing wrong with you. If you're people are minting money with TikTok just by doing 2 to 3 steps, and they're minting money. Good for them. It's their destiny. Why you even, it's just the same thing again, comparing why is this person a king and I'm not. There are different destinies. Also, if you want to be a king and if you think you're professional, learn something. Let's say you learn, what's that called? I think it's my phone vibrating. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
So yeah, just go for the whole process. Start from learning basics. Start learning, understanding the government, or start understanding the fundamental rules.
Legal.
Legal side of it, and then the democracy side of it. Whatever. I mean, just giving an example. If you want to be a pilot, you start studying, right? So if you want to be a professional dancer, you just focus on your job. You don't think of what the other person is doing. You will never grow if you start comparing or always keep thinking of, okay, that person is doing something and I'm not doing. And the essence of dancing was always enjoyment.
Yeah.
It was not like to prove a point to somebody that, okay, I want to dance to prove a point that I'm such a good dancer. Then that's ego. You've taken the fun to an ego level. So I don't think if anything taken to an ego is not nice, and never resulted in a good way.
Yeah.
Even the professional dancers, like big dancers, they attend other people's workshop. They dance with TikTok dancers. They do everything just to have fun. They don't be like, oh, I'm a professional dancer. I will not even take part in party dancing. Like if I'm in a party, I'm doing pirouettes. I'm doing full splits on the floor. No. Even a professional dancer in a party will be like, yeah, crazy. They will not start showing off their moves. Yeah. So I don't know that's the essence of dancing.
It's
dancing,
the celebration element to it.
Again, and it's just
expression.
Fun.
Yeah.
But if you're comparing with, okay, this TikTok dancer cannot do 100 pirouettes and I can, well, good for you.
Yeah, it's like even when you think of singing, for example, like I mean, there are professional singers, there are musicians, and then there's those singers who post on TikToks, and they may not be professional, but they're really good at what they do. And so it's just you articulated very well that there's a distinction between the two, so you don't need to compare.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything. Yeah,
and of course, people are using different instruments to sound good. And but then again, if they're making a fortune out of it, I think that's the discrimination, because you think that they are making a fortune and you're not.
That's what
even
people
when you
are
studied about
petty
it.
about. Yeah.
So if that is the case, work on yourself. Don't try. I always tell people, don't try to put somebody down to show that how good you are, because that's such a stupid thing to do. If you want to create, if you want to show how big you are, show with your own. What's that word?
Art, like your own work.
Yeah, with your own capability. Don't tell the world, oh, this person, like I know a lot of people who use random videos to show, this is not what we do, this is what we do. Like, okay, understood. But you're still using their comparison in your video to show how big you are. Can you do that without using their clip? Can you show how big you are without using anything? If you can, you're capable. If you're not, then just don't put somebody down. Don't make someone's work or someone's creativity to as a negative thing in front of people.
But what do you think of cultural appropriation? Because that also happens in dance, where people take in dances of different other cultures and then they misuse it.
Yeah.
So is that something you've experienced? What do you think of that though? Because in that case, shouldn't you acknowledge that? Shouldn't you mention?
I'm gonna give you a simple example. Like when classical folk dancers go on stage, they don't wear shoes. They don't dance with shoes on. So it's their way of showing respect. Where I've seen a lot of people doing fusion. I myself, I do fusion. I do a lot of fusion. But then some things, when I know that they're so particularly related, as a rule, I try to follow it. When I don't know, then I probably will apologize. I will have no shame in apologizing, because I am not encyclopedia. I will not know everything. I will make mistakes, and that is very common for any normal person to make mistakes.
Yeah.
So I feel like if somebody has made a mistake knowingly, apologize. If not, and if people are criticizing you, understand and then apologize. It's the same thing.
Makes sense.
If you know something, just don't do it. So I feel like some cultures, again, dance came out of, again, cultural, different celebrations. People had different reasons for different dances. So if they have a certain rule, you follow them. That's it. If you're in a traffic light, you stop when it says stop. If you just jump the traffic light, you will get fined. And in dancing, either you get some hatred, or some big schools, like, they probably come back to you and saying that this was not right. But I feel, there's always a nice way to say it.
For sure. Yeah, I think that sometimes there's constructive criticism, and then there's like the disagreements or hate. And then sometimes that criticism is necessary.
Yeah, it is necessary.
Someone made a mistake, I think it is important to mention it to them, or make them aware of it.
And I feel these rules are also important to preserve a certain...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, the essence needs to be preserved.
For sure.
And I really respect that. When it is allowed, when, let's say, if one dance forms allow you to be creative, just be creative. But if a dance form is asking you to just follow, just follow.
Follow, yeah. And I agree that the certain dances, like the rules that it entails, is very important, because preserving that culture, preserving the true nature of that dance is definitely important.
It is very, very important. And as like, we're not a very old generation that we are in, we have seen times where the real big gurus are still here. The big dancing gurus are still present. You don't want to upset somebody who's like, at that time they were just 1 or 2% representing the whole community. And you would want to respect that person, because you don't know, you're not that old to know, okay, how long was this dance created. So when you were not even born, that dance was there. So if somebody as big as that person, or ex-guru, I'm saying, is following, that means you should be following as well. And it is a legacy. You should continue it.
There's a lot of respect in dance. There's a lot of unity. There's a lot of like...
And I think it's like discipline as well. Just like a sportsman, dancing teaches you a lot of discipline as well.
I can imagine. Probably, yeah. But I love the whole topic of dancing, because it's just so beautiful to see how cultural it is, but also regardless, like, it kind of has no borders.
Yeah, exactly.
Because regardless of where you're from, it's a form of celebration.
And it just frees you from everything.
And it's an art that, no matter where you're from, you will appreciate it. Like, even if you're like American and you see like a Pakistani or an Indian dancing, you will appreciate it.
Of course.
So
like that's why that Quick Sully, that group that went viral, Quick Style that went viral. Why do you like it so much? As everyone, we see one Pakistani, one Indian, and all different nationalities dancing on a Bollywood song. Like, wow, they kill it. They got so much love. There is a reason, because you on a song, you just saw them uniting, just having fun, and that just. I think this is what the biggest reason them getting so much love was. Of course, they're very talented. And second thing, I feel like it's because it is so empowering to even see that how dance brings everything together and makes it look like one.
Yeah,
one
regardless of where you're from.
Yeah, where you're from.
I think that element of diversity was what really captivated people.
Exactly.
Was that there's from
so many different.
Like they look so different, but they're like so in sync.
So in sync.
Yeah.
And even giving those Bollywood expressions was crazy.
Oh, so good. They're so good. I love it. Yeah,
really.
But that's so true. Like how dance kind of, puts them all,
everyone together and just.
Yeah.
Beautiful. It's beautiful to watch.
I love dance.
I'm gonna take you soon.
Yes. I wanna, like, oh my god, you have no idea how much I wanna dance.
It's on podcast now.
With you. Yes, it's recorded. So now I've made a commitment, a verbal commitment.
I'm gonna start sending you I'm gonna start posting screenshot on my story that I've been following up with this girl and she's not showing up.
Guys, hate on her.
No, not that word.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So one thing that I was thinking about was that yes, definitely dance is very beautiful. It's an essence. It's an art, and there can still be a lot of criticism in the field, especially I feel like there's when it comes to body shaming. So when you see someone overweight dancing, there's just so much hate involved. Okay, not hate, disagreements. Maybe some hate as well involved in that.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Is that something that you have seen?
Yeah. I mean, random messages like, okay, why is your jeans not proper? I can see skin. And I feel like, okay, first thing that you're not sponsoring my clothes. If you are, then you have the right to message. Okay, that's first thing. Second thing, okay, sometimes I recently posted a video. I was promoting a brand and I was like, this fits so well. And people are like, please don't give out wrong message. It fits well because you are fit. If a fat girl will wear it, nothing's gonna fit on her. And I was like, how sad of you. You're telling me that if a fat girl, you're already creating a story in your head that you are looking good because that person was not coming on me, but they were like, don't promote it because, if a fat girl wears it, I'm like, you already have a full fictional story. Probably you have named the characters also. Like, so sad of you. And second thing I got, if a fat girl wants to wear it, she wants to wear it. Will you be able to stop? No. Will you be able to push that girl to go to a gym and get slim? No. Then your opinion matters? No. So, see, I feel, okay, everybody knows Saroj Khan. And she was not slim. But look at her. When she dances, you cannot blink.
Yeah.
Do you body shame that person? You are just mesmerized. Like, oh, wow. I've seen some of the proper chubby healthy people doing full splits. Can you do a full split? No. That's so, I think again, that's a personal opinion of what you think is good looking or is beautiful. Okay, patla hai to it's nice. If it's fat, it's not nice. If it's slim, it is fit. I have seen people with slimmest body, but they're unfit. They're unhealthy. They can't even climb a 10-step staircase. Like, they will start breathing high. So you might look fit, but if you're not, you can be a fat person and fit. You can be a slim person and unfit. So again, this is perception of what you think is right or wrong, what you think is black. But some people think, okay, maybe it's charcoal black, or some people may think, oh, it's a darker shade of gray. So there are different opinions. So people will have perception. But if that stops you from not doing stuff, I don't know what. This is what I say. I tell the same thing to my students as well. They also tell me, ma'am, I can't wear a crop top. I said, listen, if anything stops you internally, don't do it. Mm-hmm. If somebody else is saying something and that stops you, think about it. Think about who do you want to give importance to.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody will have a point, but you cannot please everyone. So
for sure,
that's the same thing. But if you think internally, okay, I should not do this, then don't do it. Simple. And I feel your intuitive voice is the strongest. If something comes from within and it's telling you, just Just follow.
Intuition is just so powerful.
Yeah,
like
it
every
is.
time I've not followed my intuition, something always goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I just feel like the gut instinct, it's so real.
And it's so true that people, you know what they say? Don't think from here, think from
Think
here.
from here, right?
Yeah, this gut will give you a shiver in your body if you're doing something wrong. It will just shake you in seconds.
True.
This will take a lot of wrong decisions, but this will not take a wrong decision. So it's crazy what people have said, and we just be like, oh, I don't know, that probably old man lost their plot. But yeah, you think about it, so you feel it. Okay, yeah, that's true.
Like when you see it in action, like when you see it in your real life when it's happening, that's when you actually realize it.
Exactly.
So for sure.
Exactly.
So I love talking about dance.
Thank you.
But I also want to talk a little bit about your other expertise.
Okay.
So I want to go into Vastu, and this is something that I'm not very knowledgeable on. So I want to learn a lot from you.
Yeah.
Because it's very interesting, and it's not something I didn't even hear about it before.
Yeah.
So if you had to explain like a 2-year-old what Vastu is,
wow,
how would you explain? We were talking about this before the episode started, but yeah.
So again, I don't think even a 2-year will understand what guidelines are. But definitely, if you give a 2-year-old 4 pieces of like a Lego piece, they will probably create a house out of it. But if you just guide them that, okay, in a house, bedroom is supposed to be here and a bathroom is supposed to be here. This is your kitchen. They will build as per it. So the same thing, these guidelines and these principles are actually Vastu. So Vastu Shastra is study of architecture. Vastu Kala is architecture. Vastu Kar is an architect. So because every country has their bylaws, like I was telling you that Dubai has a bylaw that if your villa or your plot is this big, on either sides you have to leave 3 meters. At the garden and behind, rear side you have to leave 6 meters. The same way, Indian architecture had these bylaws, which are the fundamental rules of principles of making a house, and that is exactly Vastu. So it is literally put in very simple words that this is just a set of bylaws that you study and you make a house. Like a doctor, when you study MBBS, when you study your degree, you can operate somebody. Mm-hmm. The same way, architect will study these books, history of architecture, construction, structure, then they can make a house. Interior designer will study about color combinations, upholstery, okay, what are the furniture, what are the different styles of furniture. They can decor your house, like decorate your house properly. Same thing is in a Vastu consultant who will study about which direction, where is the sun rising from, what is good to have in the rising direction, what is good to have in the setting sun direction. They will place some things in your house according to that. So it's just basic science. There is no fictional stories attached to it. It's just basic science.
So is this also associated with religion?
So if you want to put it in words of religion, it was practiced in India, but it was not just practiced by Hindus.
Okay. So it
was country. It is born in India.
Okay.
So you can say that, okay, it's religion based, but it was not followed by just Hindus. It was followed by everybody. Mughals had an architecture style that was, again, why do you think all these old palaces that are still in India and Pakistan, they still stand straight? So many earthquakes. You make a building 10 years ago, you will see one earthquake, they can't stand. But these old palaces that we still visit, they're like tourist places now. Yeah. You still visit, they stand in their place like the way they were made. You might see just a little bit of things falling off and all of that, but they are thousands and thousands years old. Why do you think they're still there? There is a reason. Yeah. The architecture at that time was so enhanced that we can't even imagine. Can you imagine Egypt making those pyramids? Ugh. There is a science behind it.
For sure. That people still don't know, actually.
Yeah, exactly. You still don't know. Somebody made Taj Mahal, still there. Like Delhi has old fort and the new fort. Old fort, half broken walls, but how many years it is from the time of Mahabharat. It is still there. Yeah. And so if you tell me that you don't believe in Vastu, then you don't believe the basic science of these palaces. You don't believe the basic science that was used to make these old beautiful palaces that still stand, and you go and visit them and you pay money to visit them.
So when you study architecture or interior design,
architecture.
This is architecture. Architecture. So is Vastu sort of included in the study?
Architecture is a very Western study. So architecture has different styles of architecture: Roman architecture, Indian architecture, Mughal architecture, British architecture.
Yeah.
So when I was studying Hindu architecture, Indian architecture, that's when it came as a part of it. But with different, like Egyptian was completely different. They do everything as per astronomy.
Yeah.
They place the planets and then they do architecture. British is different. Roman is different. So everything is different. But when you study Indian architecture as a student, you do get a topic of Vastu, but not on the Western books. You know, like as I told you that I met my Vastu teacher, my Guruji, in a guest lecture.
Yeah.
That's how Vastu was introduced to us. But if you're studying architecture in India, you will experience Vastu at certain point of your study.
So this is something that also you grew up hearing, because you were
Yeah.
saying that your family talked about it a
Yeah.
lot. Was it something that at first you were like, I don't believe in it? Like how did you embrace it?
I was always fascinated with astrology and architecture of Vastu. I was always fascinated. I feel like, wow, that planet is so far away, but it can mess my life right now in this day. Like, oh, everybody will tell you, Ishani Dasha hai. Abhi acha kuch nahi hoga. And I used to think, that distance is so big. How can Saturn... And then I realized, that's when I thought that, okay, these planets are like sun. You can see that planet every day. But it rises, it sets. If you sit outside in sun for 10 minutes, you'll probably get tanned. That's a direct impact that you can see. It's on your skin. Then the indirect ones are UV rays again, which is causing and infrared rays, which is very good for your body. That's like early morning sun, which is exactly what we should be getting. That's why we put layers and layers of sunscreens to save ourselves from UV rays. So sun in the morning till 7:30 or 8 a.m. gives UV rays to our body. So that's why they say in the morning it's very good to go for a walk, go in the sun, but always before 8 o'clock or 7:30. And after that, right now, around in the evening, when sun is at the peak, when it's in the evening, it's the peak of UV rays. That's why they say don't go in the evening sun, don't even see sunsets, see sunrise. So this is our Indian concept of sunrise dekho, sunset mat dekho. So these are the direct impacts that you can see.
Yeah.
How is Mars, Venus, Saturn impacting me? I could never understand. But I always was fascinated to know how are they impacting me. Like everybody said that your kundli is a picture. Like say when you were a baby, I clicked a picture and I still have that picture with me. You look the same in that picture, right? It will never change. The same way when you were born, somebody looked up and clicked a picture of the stars, and that's your kundli. It's always going to be.
So what does that mean?
Kundli is your birth chart.
Okay.
So it's always going to be like that. And you were born in a certain constellation when the sun was here, when the moon was here. Or I'm just giving you an example. When these planets were in different directions, like say, I'm here, this is here, and somebody clicks a picture, that picture is always going to show the same pattern. So that's your birth chart. And your life, your body, everything is going to be represented on the basis of that picture.
So even like your personality,
Everything,
things along those
everything.
lines.
And even your past and future. Still don't know how, because of course I've not studied it to that level. I've studied it to just basically understand, okay, how is this impacting? How is the motion? Like people say Mercury is retrograde. When Mercury is retrograde, the communication really dies. And I have noticed at that time, you will see most of the devices failing. WhatsApp had a big failure at that time. Like WhatsApp just stopped for everybody, and so everybody started posting, is your Instagram not working? Is your WhatsApp not working? How did it happen when the Mercury was retrograde? How? Nobody can justify that. There is no science to prove it. So this is what I thought, okay, why is... Even listening to all of this when my parents were like, "Arey, iski to shaadi nahi ho rahi, iska mangal bhari hai." And I used to be like, but what is Mars going to do to her wedding? Like, what is exactly happening? So that was like, okay... That is interesting, it intrigues you. Like, what is the reason?
What does that mean? Yeah.
So this was the only reason I started studying. I'm not even a drop in the ocean. This is a vast study, and it's such another dangerous level of maths that I don't even want to get into.
Dangerous level of maths.
While when you become an astrologer, your maths has to be
on point, yeah.
On point to some other level. Like a good mathematician can be a really good astrologer, because again, it's all maths. It's not a prediction. You cannot be just like next day you wake up and like, okay, I'm going to give this prediction. You have to study. I was not even allowed to be an astrologer. Like my Guruji told me, to even become an astrologer, you have to read at least 5,000 charts, birth charts, predict everything accurate, because he says astrology is always right. Astrologer can be wrong, but astrology can never be wrong.
The study itself.
Yeah, so you have to be so accurate, on point, every birth chart, to be able to predict someone's future, to be able to play with someone's life, because it's one prediction. People go crazy. People be like, oh, I'm going to do this because the astrologer. If you can trust in a person that you just met 5 minutes ago, just because on the basis of their birth chart reading, imagine what kind of maths you need to have, what kind of power you hold to change someone's life just by one statement.
Why do you think knowing about your predictions is important?
I don't think it's important. I feel like it's good to know the bad things and let the good things come as a surprise to you. Because if you know everything, what's the fun?
Yeah. Isn't that the part of life?
The same thing for bad things as well. Sometimes you might not be able to change it. But at least with that time that you have, before that bad thing happens, you at least can reflect back. This is my only, I still never want to know the bad things, but I want to be prepared for my bad things.
Interesting.
And I still want to know, I don't want to know all my good things, because I want them to come as a surprise. I want to be happy. When I get to know something, I'm like, wow.
But isn't knowing the bad things also sort of a part of life? Like being surprised by the bad things, even though it's not as fun as being surprised by good things, of course.
Imagine the bad thing happened and you're not even alive
you're
to
not alive
to see the good things coming forward. No, I think it's like a preparation. When you're going for an exam, you do take a pen and a pencil with you. You don't go to give an exam without any preparation. You don't want to fail. So I think that's the only point of living a life that you want to live, right? You want to succeed. At least, if not succeed, at least survive. I take it as an exam as well. So whenever I have gone through any bad times, I always used to think of, it's so funny. I imagine a Google map in front of me and I feel like I'm in a red zone. But when you're in a red zone, what you do, scroll down and look at how free the other way is.
The other way is, yeah.
This is what I always picture when I'm in any kind of bad times, that this red zone, the moment I cross, it's all blue. So just quietly sit back, relax. What maximum you can do, if you're in an Uber, just put some music on. This is your only period where you think it's going to be difficult, then it's free. You're going to be free after this. So this is what I think.
Wow, very visual.
This is what I think the bad things, knowing the bad things help you. You can see, okay, how long is this period left? Kitni aur dasha hai? If it's a 10-year dasha and I'm still in the second year, I keep counting, 8 years left. It's okay. Let me focus on other things. Let me just not focus on this. Because that motivation of what's going to happen after 8 years is going to change your life. Like that little times. Yesterday saw a video, such a beautiful video. It's like American scientists put water in a glass and they put mouse in it. And they let the mouse die. He was surviving, trying to survive. After probably 16-20 minutes, the mouse gave up. So they took the mouse out, gave him little food, and after a period of after a wait of 20 minutes, they put the mouse back in. And guess what? The mouse survived 2 days because of that thought that somebody will pull them out. And when I saw this video, I'm like, this is us. This is a human behavior. The moment you have, and that I call that food as hope. Like the moment you get this much hope, it just pushes you. So this is what I feel, that this bad time, whenever you get to know in astrology, when you get to know your bad time, you also get to know how long it's going to last.
Interesting.
So you start thinking of, okay, what after? It's going to be fine after. At least, okay, it's this much, it's fine. It's going to be fine after.
Do you okay, going back to Vastu, we'll come back to the astrology part. But when we go back to Vastu, I wanted to know a little bit more about the practices that you've embraced in your life or that you would recommend. What are some interesting practices?
Well, the first thing, again, as I was telling you, morning sun is very, very important. So what generally I try to do is that when I wake up, Sometimes I don't want to say that on podcast. I wake up sometimes like at 10. The good sun has been gone. But on the days that I have yoga, I wake up at 6 o'clock. I try to go down and take the first morning rays of the sunrise. And I try to open all the windows from the north and northeast direction, because that's where your first sun rays hit. So all the windows on the north and northeast, I open and I let all the good energy come into my house.
Okay.
And I block the south, so that the good energy comes in and stays
And
in.
stays there.
Yeah, because the good energy comes from the northeast and leaves the house from the southwest. So this is what I try to do. At least the days when I'm waking up early, I try to get up, open the windows, and at least try to be in the sun at that time. So I probably stand on my balcony, see sunrise, feel those rays on me, and then open the windows and let the energy flow in. So this is like a basic thing that I have.
You do.
I've been doing it for a very long time.
So basically, positive and good energy is associated with sun and the sun
Yes,
rays, as you were
yes,
mentioning
yes,
before.
yes.
And there was something that I was reading. I don't know if this is something that is accurate or that you do, but I was reading about adding salt to water to clean like the house, because
Yes.
salt removes negative energy.
Yeah, it sucks the negativity out. So I do that on Tuesdays and Saturdays.
Okay.
So I tell my house help that what you have to do is, just when you're about to mop the house, just put some rock salt in it and let it dissolve fully. Then just mop the whole house. So that is actually a very good remedy for if you feel that, okay, I'm feeling anxious all the time, or I feel like it's just something negative. Not everything is not positive. Not, my work is not happening. There's some lack of opportunity. It could be any reason. Any uneasiness that you feel in your house could be any negativity. What you can just do it, just the same thing as you told me, and it's absolutely correct. You just put on Tuesdays and Saturdays most. You put salt.
Why specifically?
So there are reasons, they're like related to 2 days where they're strongest, when the negative energies are the strongest. That is the only reason. Because, again, there are some days, Mondays for some god, Tuesdays for some god, Wednesdays for some god. Every god has a certain day. The same way, because the positive energies have a certain day, the negative energy also at least will have certain days.
Yeah.
So that is why we say Tuesdays and Saturdays are the time for actually the cleansing times. So that's when you put salt in the water and then you mop the whole house with it.
Okay.
So you did a good study though.
Yeah, I was trying to see a little more about
Yeah.
And then one thing was, as you were mentioning, the sun, and even the direction that you buy your house in.
Yeah.
It should be like facing or.
See, that is again a misconception. A lot of people think facing north facing or east facing or northeast facing. It really, everything matters a little bit. Not a little bit, maybe a lot more. But entrance energy is the energy that you bring in with yourself in the house.
Okay.
So let's say if you're entering from north, you're bringing in money into the house. You're entering from east, you're bringing success and happiness to the house. That's why northeast, because it's money and success together.
Oh, okay.
So people prefer, okay, if we enter from northeast, we bring in both to the house.
Okay.
The same way, every direction has a certain reason behind it. So let's say southeast. Southeast is again litigation. It's a fire element. It also, in other terms, it causes litigation issues. Who would want a southeast entrance? Maybe a lawyer. Lawyer would want his office or her office to have southeast entrance. South brings in misery. But south is a very good, like a powerful, it causes dominance as well. So who would want miseries to enter? Maybe a hospital. A hospital would love to have a south entrance, because if you're happy and you're fit, why would you go to a hospital? So there are so many different reasons, like a school. School is creative, educational center. They would want an east entrance. Of course, school would want money from north, but east is the right direction because it brings in creativity. Again, west is the direction of mass following, and people who are under you, let's say somebody who wants to, in your house, somebody obeys you, who would want you to be? Your house help. So let the house help quarter to be in the west direction. So there are so many different ways. Every entrance has a reason. It just depends on what reason are you looking for.
Interesting.
If you want to have a house which full of happiness, like I've known people, I've done consultancies for people who tell me like, we don't really earn much, but we are very happy. We are content. That means the east-west axis of the house is very well designed in a way that happiness is extremely filled in the house. So, and the other thing, I've seen so many rich people, like really rich people, but they're like, I don't find peace. Like, I don't have peace in my life. That means the north-south axis is proper in the house, but east, there's something wrong in the east-west, because there's no happiness, there's no peace. So every direction has a significant role to play. People only know about money and success, so they just go for money and success. But if you don't feel stable in the same house, you have money, you have success, but you're not stable, that also causes an issue, right? That's also a problem. So you have to see how your south is placed. If you have house help in the house, but nobody listens to you, and you're like, you are listening to them, that means there's a problem in the west as well. You need to sort the west out as well. So there are so many issues, but yeah, I mean, entrance plays a role because that's the energy you bring in.
Mm-hmm.
That is your first energy entering the house.
Makes sense.
So it does make sense.
That's very interesting. Like, as you were talking about all of these things and about how like certain entrances play a significant role in certain issues and certain feelings.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how certain people could be very dependent on this science that they don't realize that, you know, there's other issues that you need to consider.
Exactly.
So for example, you were talking about, I don't know, like the house help, like they're not listening to you. Maybe it's something to do with the entrance.
Yeah.
But do you think people, when they rely too much on this, they would not understand the other underlying issues, that maybe it's also like your personality?
Of course.
You know, commanding, I don't know.
True, that is so true. So of course, even when I came to Dubai, because I'm a Vastu consultant as well, when I was looking for the house for myself, I was like, oh my God, nothing fits the principles. Nothing's going to be nice. I'm going to be depressed. And I was at that time, because I was like living here alone. Yeah. It was just right after job.
New country.
Yeah, completely new country. You're working and then you go back to an empty bed. What do you do? So then I thought, at least my house should provide me peace. The rest of the things I can manage. But then again, being a Vastu consultant, I couldn't find anything, even because I knew if I start looking for something like that, I will never would have found a house. I have to settle on something. It could be 50%. 50% I can work around. 30% I can work around. But just relying on this science and not actually going back and checking what other things are going wrong is stupid. It doesn't make sense. You have to, again, I tell people that you can, if you have a problem, you have some, let's say, health issue, you're going to a pandit and you're saying, astrologer, that I have an issue. And astrologer is saying, I can see it from your birth chart. There is an issue. I will heal you. But that doesn't mean that you will stop taking medical help. I tell people, do both together. That's like double backup, right? If you have a problem, you are seeking out help from a religious person or somebody who is like a master of their art, but you're also going to a doctor. It's gonna anyways help you because you're getting healing from both sides. The same thing with Vastu. I don't tell people, okay, when this is so weird and this is so amazing as well about Vastu, that people do rely on it completely and then they forget about, even if they're very rich, they forget about what the interior guy is saying. Everything becomes about me. I feel very powerful at that time. I'm sitting in a meeting with MEP consultants, interior designer, architects, and everybody's like, no, whatever she says, you have to do it. But then I'm like, okay, because I'm an architect, so I understand what you're coming from. If I'm just giving you an option, if not, we'll work on another. Because I'm an architect, I understand what that person is feeling. Same. Like, I have been sitting day and night here, and they've just got this lady on board, and now everybody has to listen to her. So I know what that means. But again, practicality is also very important. How will a house function if everything is messed? Because see, it's best way to get a plot and then start making everything from scratch. But in an existing house where in Dubai, where most like 80% are living on rent, how do you manage to break things or do structural changes? Yeah. You cannot do them. Yeah. So you use other strategies. Like I use strategies like Vastu and colors. You can play with colors, Vastu and vegetation. You can have different plants, Vastu and music, Vastu and aura. So there, and in the end, Vastu and remedies, that is the yantra. So I feel like I do understand the practicality side of it. That's why I never suggest people to go exactly for it. Because even then I myself tell that if you want to make something as per Vastu, I can probably sit with you in details and have like 15-day meeting. I'll meet you every day. But what is the point? Will you be at peace after that? Will you think that, okay, 15th day down the line, now the home is ready and you're like, oh, I think, can I buy this watch and can I buy this wall clock and put it on this wall? People do ask me that. I get messages on daily basis that a random picture of a painting that I've bought this painting, where should I put in my house? I'm like, Bhagwan ka naam lo kahin pe bhi rakho. If the basic is right, and second thing is trust on that Almighty, that energy is guiding you. That energy is there for you. Don't worry. Just first thing, again, believe. It is very easy to say, it's very difficult to do, to completely leave something on God or completely leave something on the energy. But you have to start somewhere. There is a process. I'm in a process as well. I also believe. Sometimes I feel like, why is this happening? Then I feel like, I don't know the reason right now, but I'm sure there is.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, and this is what, and we are just consultants. We cannot do anything. We are just here as a designer. Probably my principles are different from an architect, but again, I'm just a designer. I'm no one. I'm just telling you, if a doctor can operate a person's body after studying MBBS, so I can do Vastu after studying Vastu. That's it. That's just what I've studied. I'm performing. That's it.
It's very that's also how I live my life, because anytime something goes wrong in my life, I'm always like, there's a reason for it.
Of course there is.
Like there's like that belief in God, and it's very hard to implement that in your life all the time, but
but that's it. That is, this imperfection is making you human.
Yeah.
If you're not imperfect, if you're not scared of what this hard time is going to do, then I don't know. We will not be sitting here and talking about it.
True.
Exactly.
We would have had our lives figured out.
Sorted. Yeah. I'll be in my villa in somewhere else in some Miami, on the beach side. I'll be sitting like, my life is perfect. Yeah.
So when you were talking about birth charts, coming to astrology, you were talking about birth charts, and that was something I want to know more about, because astrology relates to horoscopes as well. And so one thing that I was thinking about was that if your personality is kind of determined because of how you're born and when you're born and the alignment, then what role does the environment play as you grow up? You know what I mean? Because we study that there's nature and nurture, and nature is what you're born with, nurture is what you grow up surrounded by. So how does that work in the study of astrology?
Oh, I have a beautiful answer of this. I don't know how it just came to me. So a ore in a mine is a diamond, right? It's like a big stone. You get uncut diamonds as well. And you are born to be a diamond. An ore even is a diamond. It's born to be a diamond. And the nature has pressed and prepared it to be a diamond. But if nobody comes down in the mine and takes that ore out and take you to a lab and cut you properly and make you into a diamond, how would you know? How would you know who you are? Because you're born as a diamond. There are so many ores lying under the mine. This stone is also a diamond, and a cut piece is also a diamond, but this has more value. This is just a base uncut stone. Yeah. And even some uncut stones, when they're cutting, if a wrong person cuts them, they lose their value. You would never get a diamond out of an ore, like an uncut diamond. So I feel it's the nurturing part is also very important. Two people are born at the same time. These are the two stones that we are talking about. One gets into the biggest lab in the world, gets the best cutting, and is now in probably Tiffany selling as like the most expensive diamond. And the other ore that came out from the same stone, same mine, is probably cut wrong. Now it's selling as jerkin or just like powder diamond because it couldn't be a diamond. So I think it also depends on whose hands are you going in. And then that is again destiny. God made you to be a diamond. These two stones were diamonds. But one got a different...
What happened afterwards is...
And I also think that it is your past life karma as well. It is your karma. The same day a child is born in a royal family and a child is born in a normal family. The same date, same time, probably two different countries or the same country. But one person is born in a royal family and one is not. It is, how will you define that?
Interesting.
You do carry something from your past life, and that is the difference. You're breathing the same air, you're doing everything same, but there is a difference.
Yeah.
So this is what I feel also, that what you do in this life, you could be a beautiful person, be good to people, you don't hurt anyone's feeling. If you don't do wrong, you don't take wrong as well. That's also a very big karma. That's gonna relate to your next birth. If you're a horrible person, this life you're probably a millionaire, but you're a horrible person. This life you'll be fine. You'll die with money. Don't worry.
But
maybe the next life you'll be somebody who you bullied. You'll be that someone. So it's the same thing about, I think I take it as the diamond story.
Interesting. That's a very beautiful way to put it. I'm a Muslim, but I've been studying Hinduism as well, because I feel like there's so much wisdom in so many religions. So I was taking a course where I was studying Hinduism, and I found it very it's definitely different from Islam, but it's still very beautiful to see, like, there's this element of continuous improvement. Because I feel like you always have that chance to improve in every life that you would be in. So there's like this idea that you are kind of pushing yourself to continuously improve whatever, like if you didn't do well this life, you have a chance next life. So I found that really different and very beautiful as well in Hinduism.
It's actually the soul that is traveling. It's like you want to go to probably UK. What you do from your house, you take a taxi, you go to the airport, you sit in a plane, you land at the airport, you take another taxi, you go to your hotel, and you're in UK. So these taxi 1, Airbus, taxi 2, then probably you take that another taxi to go somewhere else if you're traveling within UK. So these taxis are different bodies. So body number 1, taxi number 1, body number 2, taxi number 2. So all of this, but the soul is the person traveling inside. So this is what So you could be a horrible person and get stuck to that life, like that, stuck to just in the plane. Your plane ride could stretch from 8 hours to 22 hours. If you're a nice person, that plane probably would be just like 3 hours flight. So it's just that's it. So the soul that is traveling, but the body keeps changing.
It's like it's the consequences of your actions. And so I wanted to also ask you about, because you were talking about the castes and the caste system. Can you explain a little bit more about that? What do you think of that? Because I know, wasn't caste system made illegal in India? Like the system in general, where certain because I was reading about this, that caste system was like banned now in India, something like this.
Well, I doubt that, because from the very old stories that I've heard, that I don't know how, it is true. It is not banned. I don't think,
because I feel this is just what I remember reading was like legally, but then culturally it's there.
I don't know.
There. That's just,
I think it's legally there as well. That's why they have quotas. If that was banned, a certain caste have quotas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So some people are applying for the same job a normal person is, but a quota person is gonna get it because it's their quota. One seat is reserved for the quota. So that means caste system is there. Even legally, it's there.
Okay, so so when you were talking about the quota, so each caste has a,
not each
is it
caste.
Like that?
Some caste has quotas which they have requested for, and they have got. So people have different words of minor and major and all of that, but there is a caste system, and it's very strongly present in India, not just from now. Not just from the modern times. It has been there from the very ancient times. We've been reading, we hear stories of God Ram, and even that time the caste system existed, and he was the one eradicating this common misconception that, okay, this person is also human. Why do you treat them separately? So I don't think there has ever been a time when it was not there. It has always been there.
But do you think that's created a lot of discrimination? How has that, from your personal experience, how have you seen that?
Well, if one thing caste could do, it could always enhance or, talk about the beautiful side of it. But again, positivity takes time to spread, but the negativity spreads like this. If there's a gossip in an office, it'll just gonna spread in like 10 seconds. But if somebody got a promotion or somebody's really, first thing, we don't even let our positivity out. Do you? Like if there's something nice happening, you will wait, like till the time it's done,
That's
I will
true.
not tell anybody else.
That's true.
So you hold the positivity. But if something negative, you'll be like, this happened with me. So even the positive sides of it is still, I don't think, have still crossed the borders of India, or it's not even crossed the borders of a lot of states. It's very difficult to hear something nice about a caste system, but it's very common to hear so many negative points about a caste system because the same thing. If there is anything positive happening, it's not going out. It's not being told. So I'm sure if whosoever made it must have a reason, right? If it's present so strongly and from the times when God existed, if it's from that time so strongly, it must have a reason. But then how it is brought forward, I think that is negative. And I think it has been going the way it is. Nobody even now has sat with, let's say, I'm talking about my generation people, and told us, this is the caste system. This is the caste system. That's it. It's just a surname attached to it. Just take it like a surname. It's like a name. Why do you have to bring it in your daily life? I still don't know. Because we've never been told. All what we have been told is, don't do this. Don't talk to people. Don't do this. But we still don't know why.
So the caste, it's in your surname? Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, different people have different surnames, and that's how they've taken.
That they know. Okay,
yeah, from that they belong to that caste, like that.
Okay, very interesting. So what is so we're almost done.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious about this because it's also something I'm learning about.
Yeah.
So but what is your, because you were saying there is positivity, but what's spread is the negativity. So I want to know about the positivity. Like what do you find? What is your most beautiful element of this system?
To be honest, even I am in a state where I don't know any story. Literally, of course, every caste, every religion have their own good things, but because when we are born in a certain, like, I'm just giving you a basic example. In India, they say if you're married in this religion, you have to marry this religion. Like, this is the caste you're supposed to get married into. Of course, you've been told don't get married to the other caste, and I'm not saying in a bad way, just general way. Like, they simply follow it, but I don't know, still don't know why. I don't know anybody personally that they would know.
Interesting, yeah, because I think in all religions there's some unknown to it. Like, there's so many things about Islam that I question, but I'm also like I understand it, but I also don't understand it. And lots of time I ask questions, most people don't know why certain things happen. And like, if you have faith, if you have beliefs, there are some things you learn to embrace and accept.
Exactly. So this is what I think I've settled myself in terms of even if it's from some caste, one caste that I follow is just to be nice. Like, kindness is one thing that I think is common in every caste. So if you could just manage to be true to that caste, I think that does not need any explanation. Nobody needs to tell you why you need to be kind.
Oh yeah, that's not a question.
People will tell you, okay, don't talk to this person, or don't talk to that person, or don't do this, or don't do that. But they will never ask you, okay, don't be kind to that caste. Nobody will say that. And that's not just in India. I think that's everywhere.
So, but are there limitations on what caste you can and cannot talk to?
In some areas, I have heard a lot of people have that. Again, that's ego. If God was fine, how do humans consider themselves in a superior category?
Oh, for sure.
So I don't know. Again, it's the same thing, that what is here, I think ego gets to people, that okay, just because they're on a very higher caste, they cannot talk to somebody minor. But then again, if God didn't have a problem, I don't know why do people have? But if they have, there must be a reason. And they must have their reasons.
Thank you very much for today. This was a very, very interesting conversation, very different from my usual conversations, and lots of insights. I love how when you talk about social media, I feel like you have so much great advice in terms of how to handle disagreements, how to handle how to manage your emotions. So this was very, very insightful.
Thank you so much. I'm also still learning by my own experiences and other people's experience. But yes, it's a constant learning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
are
and I
very
love-
articulate as well.
Oh
Like
my God.
I love listening to you.
Thank you so
I have a
much.
little gift for you.
Oh, wow. Okay. I love gifts.
Is that like there
What
was
is it?
one guest that when I gave a gift, she's like, "Oh my god, gifts are my love languages." I was like,
Oh.
"Oh wow,
So were you not expecting one in back in return, because it's a
gifts
love
are your
language? Yeah.
So here it is.
Oh wow.
So
Is that tea?
So open it. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay,
It. And
yeah,
you
so I
love
have to
tea.
open. It's an
So this is perfect. I'm so happy that you love tea. Yeah.
This is like happiness in a box. Oh wow. I've never done an unboxing online. Oh wow, this is are these all different?
Yeah, they're all
Oh my God,
different.
I have so many
tea
options.
varieties. Look at so here. There's like a
Oh.
list of all the tea options.
Oh my God. I think I'm sorted for the whole 15 days.
And there's so many for you to choose from.
This is beautiful. Thank you so much. I think this is the most considerate and the most best gift.
Oh, when you told me that you love chai, I was like,
As I told you, I'm a passionate tea drinker.
that you love tea. Oh my god, I was
Passionate.
like, I can't wait to give you the gift.
This is beautiful.
I'm glad you like it.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the show. I love watching your videos, and I'm so glad I'll be on one.
Yay! I'm honored. I'm so honored.
Thank you so
honestly.
much.